at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show. I really do appreciate it. We are sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group, and Chris Wootton is the CEO, and you're going to get to hear him. He does a spot on here that talks about all the different things that they do and what you may be wondering about or maybe have some concerns about. And he's the perfect guy to take care of it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that fill-in. Anyway, I wanted to tell you that, first of all, finally get him in. A lot of times I get sidetracked by Richard saying something right before we go on, but he's been very quiet today. It's been
right
unusual.
when we were going live, the audio wasn't working. I was like, really? It was working 5 seconds ago.
Uh-huh.
So.
But you fixed it. You're so good, Richard. You're really good at that.
I don't know.
And your hair looks good. And you know what? Yesterday, when you had a split and quad, the quad cut up, and you were actually the right size. Why? I don't know why you don't do that every time instead of making the little postage stamp at the bottom.
I like it better that way because people are supposed to ask you anything. So they need a comment on Facebook or YouTube.
The name of the show is Ask Me Anything.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I have an opinion on it. And if not, I'll think of one. But it...
the big question is, you were supposed to bring me a sandwich today.
Richard?
I know you probably got in a wreck on the way. Or you said, did you save an infant?
Did I say what?
Did you save an infant?
No, did I save an infant?
I want to know why you didn't bring me a sandwich today.
It's because
you're busy. I get it. Now I'm just giving you a hard time.
Well,
when you walked in, you had that look like I haven't been to sleep.
Is he going to open the door? He knows I don't have a sandwich. Is he going to open the door for me?
No, I'm giving you a hard time. I know. I love you, Cindy.
You love me,
regardless of the sandwich.
That's so sweet because I thought it was just the food that was being.
Well, I
so
did plan
sweet.
my entire meal plan today around it, so that makes dinner that much better.
There's a good way to look at it. No, it was because my sister's coming in tonight,
and you had to make a bed or something.
No, I had to
wash sheets, clean the house.
No, my oldest daughter and her husband
feed a dog.
They gave Sam a present as with maid service to come over for a day, and so they came over yesterday, and it was so sweet. What good timing! And my sister's coming in today, so I'm hoping
Hopefully
sister
she's not listening.
Yeah, I hope she's.
Look what I did for you.
Assume that that's how it always looks, and she has never come in before where it looked this good. So anyway, she'll think I've grown up. Finally, Cindy, finally you're starting to clean your house. Good, but everybody's just so on eggshells because nobody wants to mess up anything. And
well, how often do they mess up stuff?
Every single day of the week, and so there's something to mess up, but they just don't pick up or.
I get it. I do the same thing. I get yelled at all the time, or I used to get yelled at.
Oh, okay. No, you don't.
No, I don't. No, I can just leave stuff, and I'm like, I left it there for a reason.
I was coming back to it eventually.
Yeah.
And so Samuel has just started cooking. He's cooking for himself, and it's great. Samuel's
macaroni and cheese and hot dogs.
And
corn dogs.
No. He wants ribeye steaks, and he's a good cook, and so I'm so proud of him. He's only 18, and he's learned how to cook all this stuff. So, but only thing is he doesn't, put it all back or make sure everything's clean. And he jumps on me about that. Grandma, you cooked, and you need to get that cleaned up and make sure that it looks good when you leave the leave the kitchen. Now it's hilarious. Now Cindy, I'm trying to get her to be interested in cooking, because then I could really sleep late. It would be terrific. But kids aren't, that unless you take, home ec in school, or your mother teaches you or something like that. But I have taught Samuel how to make a roast, he can do a hamburger helper. He can cook steaks great. And he knows how to season and do all that. He makes great egg sandwiches. So he can do all that stuff. So it's perfect. And that's what you want to do whenever they're young, is start getting them used to being in the kitchen and praise them to death. Okay, here's a call I got yesterday. Dennis O'Connor called, and I thought he had heard the show. And so I started laughing, and he goes, "What are you laughing at?" And I said, "Well, did you hear the show yesterday?" He said, "Are you on?" He says, "I didn't think you were on, because you've been sick, so I quit tuning in." And I said, "You didn't even check to see, or you weren't listening to the recordings?"
That's typical Dennis.
He says, "No, but now I'll listen." I said, well, let me tell you, if you start listening to the shows that yesterday was, I kind of told the guy, because he asked, are there certain words I can't say on the radio? And I thought that was very appropriate.
You got a question. Top 5 favorite sandwiches.
That's a question?
Yeah.
From who?
Andrew. He's listening. From yesterday, audience of 1.
I was just getting ready.
New episode came out this morning. You should check it out on podcast and YouTube. Look up Lone Star Community Radio, audience of 1, irlonestar.com/AOO.
Stop. Y'all better have me on your show.
Oh, are you able to get up that early?
No, y'all don't do that early.
Yeah,
I know
we do.
you do. How early?
I mean, sometimes we do it at 5 a.m. because we're still up from drinking beer. I mean, it just kind of. I'm just kidding. I haven't had one of those nights in a long time. I think I kind of need to have one night like that.
I think you should. Yeah.
You want me to tell you my game plan today after this show?
I'm dying, and then I'm going to get back to my story. Okay, go ahead.
Well, you finish your story. I guess it was.
No, because you'll forget what you're going to say. Hurry,
no, I won't. I won't forget because it has to do with you forgetting my sandwich.
It was about what?
It's about you forgetting my sandwich.
Forgetting your sandwich. Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hold that over my head, aren't you? Okay. So anyway, I'm glad that Andrew's listening, because I told Dennis, I said, so anyway, this guy's asking, is there certain words I shouldn't say, because I don't want to embarrass anybody, or he was trying to be very polite, and I said, well, look, it's okay. I'll give you the number of a guy. You can call him, and he'll guide you through what not to say on the radio. His name is Dennis O'Connor, and Richard, he actually got a smile on his face, and he thought that was so funny. So Andrew. Dennis calls me today, and I tell him that, and he loves it. He said he's going to call me. He's going to call me. Great. I want to make sure I'm home. But now my favorite sandwiches are bacon, lettuce, tomato.
Okay.
And then I like turkey, ham, and lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers.
Okay.
How many is that? 2? Okay.
You have that 5. I mean, that's a lot of sandwiches.
5, that's a lot of sandwiches, man. I like a hamburger with just the meat and that's it. Meat and mayonnaise and honey mustard. That's it. Okay. On that sandwich. Pretty boring.
I figured you would go crazy and be like, I want the Monte Cristo.
No. Peanut butter and jelly. That's my favorite ones. I just have one more. And that would be, I'm so anxious. It would be a tuna dip sandwich. Tuna dip is, this is terrible. I mean, you're going to hear my arteries clogging as I tell you this.
Is that why you've been having issues?
But I don't do that anymore. I can't have any of those.
Isn't that crazy?
Sandwiches.
I was thinking about that today.
What?
Well, it's like, cause I know you had your health deal.
Yeah.
And you get like a full break. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You cannot do this stuff anymore.
Right.
Because I know you're diabetic, and
yeah.
you can't just when the Sweet Lady came, Sweet by Sarah, or
yeah.
Scratch by Sarah, or Sarah by Scratch. Which one?
Scratch by Sarah.
Yeah. I felt really bad because it was really good. And then I realized when I ate, I was like, but I'm not going to be able to eat this now because I just ate it. And then when I hit like 40 something, I'm like, oh, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah. But you don't have any kind of history of diabetes or in your family or anything, do you?
Surprisingly, no. It's kind of weird.
Well, that's wonderful. Enjoy every nanosecond of it because...
But if you enjoy it too much, you're going to get diabetic.
Yes, and that's my problem.
That's your problem?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Cindy, I know you have a Butterfinger under your pillow. I know that's how you grew up. You just had that.
That's so funny.
You had that Butterfinger. Just sneak it in.
Did you talk to Sam?
Did you really have a Butterfinger under your pillow?
Not today, but I.
Oh my gosh. You see, that's one thing I think I'm lucky that I've never really stuck by was I wasn't really a sweets person.
See, that's why you'll never ever have.
And I mean, I like sweets. Like I'll eat. If someone baked me something, I'm like, I will try it. Yeah. But I'm never like, oh, you know, it would go really good right now, McFlurry. Like I never would ever order a sweet from. Hey, there's Son and Taylor's. What is going on down?
Oh my goodness!
They're doing some weird stuff.
People in the bay, I mean, not bay window, but that huge picture window that we had over the other studio. I miss that because that was fun. And I could look out and still talk and see the people passing by. And speaking of passing by, that's what Dennis would do with a sign that would say the end is near and that kind of stuff, or please shut up. This is a boring show. And do you remember him doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so he called me, and after I told him the story about Andrew going to call him, he said, "Okay, I got a question. What is this about all these commercials about? There's so many people.
I know they're looking in. I keep thinking they're trying to talk to you, or somebody's like,
are they signing?
No,
okay.
You don't know how to sign. You know that's all a lie." Even though you had a deaf person call the studio yesterday.
That's right. And I didn't answer because I didn't.
No, they
didn't
called.
know.
I was letting you know. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, I think some deaf person tried to call you because it was a translator, and the translator wasn't making a lot of sense.
But the translator.
But at the very end, they let you know it's a translator.
Yeah, but
would you want to open the conversation with that?
Exactly, because I'm listening to this going, I can't recognize this girl's voice. Who is she? I know her from somewhere. I can't figure it out. And she never said the name of the person. She just said this came to you from this translating service.
Yeah.
So
I actually was thinking about not giving you the message because they didn't leave a name. They did leave a number.
Yes, I'll call.
But I was kind of worried. I was like, maybe this is like a trick, and like Cindy owes money, and now like
this is the way to get her call back. No, it's okay. If I don't finish this story about Dennis, he's listening right now.
Sure, he is.
Yes, because he found out I was back live. He laid off listening to Lone Star Community Radio because I was gone.
I believe it. I totally believe that.
And he said, now I'm back. So now I'm back. So now he's back. Anyway, so Dennis says, what is it with this commercial about eczema? What's the deal with eczema? Why does everybody have eczema and they're trying to get rid of it? And they want to show you their skin and they want to take their clothes off to show you their skin. And so and then if you use this product, it's either going to be you're throwing up or you're going to die. And so I said, well, I can speak to that, Dennis. He said, of course you can. You have a story for everything. No, but I had eczema like all my life. And at school, my eczema got so bad at one point, the teachers would make me leave the room and they would let me come back in because they thought somebody would catch whatever I had. And I'd have to go to the nurse's office. And then they would have to call my parents to come get me. And they kept doing this. And I told my mother I wasn't going to go back because people were really making fun of me, or they didn't want to stand near me, or they wouldn't have anything to do with me. And I came out to a recess, but it was a break, and all the kids were standing around. They were holding hands in the circle, so I thought they were doing like a prayer circle or something. And I reached to try and get into the circle, and they went, "Oh, I'm not gonna hold hands with you. Don't do that. Go stand over there." it was so embarrassing. So
I remember you telling me this because it changed when you went through puberty.
what are you talking about?
I just made it up.
Okay. So anyway, I told my mother I'm not ever going back to school again, and so she said, "Well, you have to go back to school." And I said, "No, I can't." And
because you're just covered in skin flakes.
I looked like if you ever saw the movie Monster of the Black Lagoon, that's what I reminded myself of.
The black and white movie?
Yeah. And it looked horrible. My skin just looked horrible. It was all on my face and everything. And so I couldn't look anybody in the face. It was awful. So during that time, though.
This has got to be a good ending to this story.
No. But they took me to Baylor. They found out about this guy that's experimenting with people that has eczema. He was going to use steroids, this thing called steroids, and see how it worked.
You really
on
age
people.
yourself like all the time.
Yes.
I love it.
And so I went, and the doctor walks in the room, and he goes, "Oh, my God, what happened to you?" And I said,
I fell in a pool of acid.
He said, "It looked like you've been burned. Were you burned, or is
Probably
this?"
because you scratched all the time.
Yes, and
Because that's what makes eczema worse.
That's right.
And that's why it spreads.
And I begged my mother to please kill me. I said, "I want you to kill me, please. I can't stand it. I can't sleep. I can't do anything. I can't even feed myself."
So
now.
how do you not have it today? Or you still probably have it, but it's like it's treated.
She tied my hands to the bed so I wouldn't scratch. And so we go to this doctor.
I like how you forget that you're like didn't tell the audience you scratched. That's why you have this problem.
No, you can't help it. I mean, you can't.
I've had eczema before.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay. Every 7 years, your body goes through.
Or that's what the dermatologist said. I was like, well, I feel like it's not because it's not spreading or it's not.
Well, I think a lot of people have, probably different levels
all
of
different,
eczema
yeah.
and all that. But or psoriasis, they call it psoriasis. Funny.
Is that for old people? They don't call it eczema anymore. They call it psoriasis. We got different terms depending on how old you are.
Yes, yeah. No, it's levels of it. But anyway, so why do you do that to me? I'm almost through with the story, but you're going to interject something, and now I've gone on
So
to.
how did you got a shot of steroids and it went away, and they locked you in a basement for like 6 months so you wouldn't scratch yourself.
So the guy said, "We're experimenting with this drug, and I'm going to give you a series of shots, and it's steroid, and it's cortisone is what they were calling it, but it was
Now it's
steroids.
over the counter.
That's over the counter, but
Now it's over.
now, but this one had steroids.
Thanks
in it.
to Cindy and her
Steroids in it. Anyway, so in 24 hours, I woke up and I went to the mirror and I saw my face. I saw my skin.
Oh.
It wasn't all broken up.
Oh.
It was amazing. It was like a miracle that happened, and it was great. So I went. I got a new haircut and I got some clothes, and I went back to school. And the people, they
And you
didn't
kissed
recognize
the first
me.
boy that gave you attention. You're like, oh, this is so great.
They go,
I'm so good looking now.
I am so
Look at
fine.
me.
Like,
I
oh
can get
my
all these
goodness.
guys to do all these things for me.
Yeah, it was great.
And they all have eczema now because you gave it.
No, they all wanted to come talk to me, and they finally would talk to me. But anyway, so I told him, I said, I know that's a horrible thing, and now they do have the medications they have. The side effects of these medications are so bad. But you listen to all the different commercials.
So what was the side effect for you?
He said, what you're going to do is you're going to have a moon face, and you may grow a beard, and you may
I like it.
you may stop asking for directions. It was a joke.
Well,
no.
no, what I love is all the side effects for current drugs. When you watch the television, it's like every almost new drug just causes you to poop a lot.
Oh, they said, yeah, that's
It's
side
like
effect.
diarrhea.
Diarrhea and.
But it's like for like all the drugs, like for different things. Like, oh, this helps your hair, eyesight, your whatever.
And
like,
you lose weight.
But everyone just poops. It's just
You know,
like
when they say that, it's like, and this drug will help you lose weight. It's because you're going to diarrhea.
well,
to
no,
death.
even if it's like, oh, this helps cure cancer, it's gonna also cause you to poop. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this isn't. It's gonna cause you to poop.
You got to decide. You want to have cancer or you want to die? You want to stay alive and be miserable. And, I think it's horrible when they start the side effects. And then they run through it so fast. The whole beginning of the commercials, oh boy, just take Ozempic and you will be great.
Well, it probably helped somebody, though. I think people forget that. Even the pharmaceutical world's kind of weird, but it's like, at least it's helping someone, right?
Sure, but
I mean, think about the cartels. They're trying to help as many people as possible with their drugs.
Fentanyl. They don't want you to feel. They don't want you to feel anything anymore.
Yeah.
So die. Just take it and die, and it'll be. It's just a stress reliever. And so I don't know why people are so upset about that.
Speaking of dying, I emceed the seniors no taps this morning at the bowling alley.
The seniors.
Yeah.
What tap?
It's like a tournament.
Oh.
Yeah, I went there this morning after my morning show.
How old were they?
I mean, you have to be at least 65 or older to participate in the tournament.
Okay.
But everyone was having fun. It looked like something you could do. That's the reason I wanted to tell you.
But why do you think I could do it? I can hardly walk to the.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Some of those people could hardly walk.
It's
like they had their cane. Literally, they had their cane, walked up to the line, and threw it.
Ready?
No walker, just canes.
Oh, that's all you. Oh, okay. That's your only handicap?
No, I have no idea. People in wheelchairs bowl. So I don't know why you always doubt yourself, Cindy. I've always been telling you that your confidence needs to be a lot higher because you're a better person, and I know you have it in you.
You know, Richard, you're so sweet. You just.
And I'm glad you survived the eczema. And we know, but
you didn't.
That was a list of many other problems you had, and you scratched that off your baby
Don't
steps.
Say scratch. But what's funny is that every 7 years I found out that your body chemical there's a change that happens where your blood has a different pH in it or something. But every 7 years it does change.
So you're saying
and that's why you grow out of stuff.
Well, or grow in. Because it's like, oh, hey, by the way, all your last 7-year diet, this is what's going to happen now.
The diet doesn't. I mean, if you have eczema when I was 12 years old, I looked up what eczema was, and it says incurable blood disease. That made me feel like I was going to die like any minute.
Well, who taught you to read?
At 12 years old?
No, I mean, like, you shouldn't be reading because that's what's going to happen when you read.
Wow. The head of education and the school union would love to hear that. That would be great because they're getting so much backlash from kids being fourth grade readers when they're in 10th grade or something because of.
I mean, who knows?
It's all their fault. They kept them out of school too long, and it's just.
Well, do you think the mentality of parents have changed over the years when it comes to school?
Oh, in the last 2 years, they really changed because they started seeing how they were being taught and what they were being taught. So parents said, you know what, we can't just come home and watch.
Oh, what a big shock. They've been being taught that way for a long time. So it's like, maybe you should have paid attention earlier.
No, here's the deal. They quit letting papers go home. They quit, they do their papers. They give the kids the papers. They bring them home. And the parents could look and see what they were doing. Do you still get a report card?
Do people get report cards still?
No, you have to go through a portal, parental
yeah, so
portal.
You probably just don't know how to find it.
No,
that's the great shift that's happening with technology. It's like we've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
Certain things in society are just like stopping, and it's being transferred to digital.
Yeah, I see why everybody's afraid that AI is going to, take over and leave us.
But a lot of people
behind.
won't care.
No, but as long as they're going to take care of the budget and they're going to do the right things for the country and let everybody have free speech and it'll be great. But it's going to depend on the person that's doing all the programming for the AI.
Yeah, you better get smarter.
You think
you better get smarter?
No. Do they scare you?
Who?
The AI.
No.
The AI. The AI could take your job, what you do.
That's fine.
And you'd be okay with it?
Yeah. I'm more worried about like losing my taste of anything. Like if I was like lost my taste, I'd be really worried.
Oh, are you talking about the way you dress or the way that you?
No, how I like taste food.
Yes.
That would like when that was going on with COVID, I was like, that would be terrible.
Yes.
Like even if we'll put you in the hospital, but you won't. I'm like, that doesn't scare me. It's like I won't be able to taste anything. That's what I don't want.
Sam has never gotten that back. He hasn't.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's the nightmare. That's the nightmare I'm in.
He says, I can just barely taste this. I think, did you put garlic in it? I went, oh yeah, a lot of garlic in it, and jalapeno stuff so that you could taste it. He said, I can't taste it.
But
and
his butt cheeks are tasting.
He's like, what? What'd you say?
Nothing.
What'd you say? No, but it's made him where he enjoys my cooking better this way. It's great.
Yeah,
I mean, like
I can see how good of a cook you are.
What?
I can already just sense watching you in the kitchen and just all over the place.
I put the roast in. I got ready for to do the vegetables, and before we're going to go pick her up at 6:30, and come back, and she's going to have a homemade roast. For the Sunday. It's like a Sunday dinner for my sister. She will be so happy. It will make her think of. She's going to walk in and go, it's like Mom's kitchen. It's so exciting. So that's what I'm doing. And that's all amid making sure everybody's got their room clean. Don't mess up. Don't do anything that's going to make it look bad. And we had the exterminator come this morning. That's all I did this morning.
We're still talking about you.
Ask me anything. Go ahead.
Yeah, how's that exterminator? He's been on the show. Is it Chris?
It's Chris.
Yeah.
But Chris sent Kenneth.
Okay.
Now,
you don't like new people.
I don't like new people
You
at
do
all.
not like new
and
people.
He knows it.
That's such an old person thing.
And because Chris would come in my house, no matter what my house looked like, and he signed a waiver that he would never tell anybody.
Yeah.
But
do you have like carcasses around or something? When you actually have chickens that you're chopping the heads off? Like, what are you so ashamed of?
No, I take that out back. I didn't do it.
Okay.
No, it's just.
Well, you make it sound like you're beyond an episode of Hoarders or something.
No, it's not Hoarders. It's just messy.
Well, you ever seen Hoarders, the show?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you make it sound like your house looks like that.
Yes.
And I doubt Sam would would be around for that kind
That's
of
why
stuff.
he lives in the barn.
So,
He lives in the barn. That's his man cave that became his
barn.
I'm staying over there, and y'all come over here and see me when you want to. But and it's so neat. He's got.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
His place is so neat. And when we first got married, we had a maid that would come, and she'd say, Miss Cindy, here's the deal: is that I don't mind taking care of Mr. Sam's closet because his stuff is so nice laid, and it's like
Well, you have no organization.
And I go over and look at yours, and I can't even see the floor on yours. I don't.
Well, see, what I would if I was there with the conversation with the maid, I was like, just put all her stuff in a box. That's what I would do. Like, don't worry about putting it back where you think it belongs. Don't even try that. Just put everything in a box.
Yeah. You know what? You and my sister are gonna have so much fun tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's gonna
We're
be.
just gonna keep dogging you every day.
I'm gonna have to get really strong. I thought about making Sam come along because he loves Carolyn. Because Carolyn is, if he'd have met Carolyn before me, that'd have been it. Because
Well, he's probably gonna get jealous because y'all are going off on a little sister.
No, he's really supportive. He's gonna give me a credit card and say, "Y'all have fun," and
He'll let me know when you spend too much, and I'll call you. Does he have a cell phone? Does Sam have a cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay, I always wondered that.
Why?
I don't know, because when I met him, he seems like the guy. It's like I don't need people reaching me. I'll have one destination where they can reach me, and if I'll get to it when I want to get to it, like I can see him still having like a tape answering machine.
No,
I can see that because that's how he deals with people calling him. He's like, I'll just listen to this message. If I want to call him back, I'll call him back.
That was always the best part of a machine, but no, he has a tracker on there for me.
Probably. Well, you need it, Cindy.
Yeah, and my big mouth.
I need it for you.
My big mouth
I need it.
son is now tracking me, and so is my daughter. And he told Sam how to use the tracker, so now he can figure out where I am. And it's just kind of weird. It's like having people. I mean, you don't have someone watching over you every minute of the day, do you, Richard? You should feel free. You can do anything you want to.
Now I do.
Well, that's not me. Isn't it great?
Well, no, that's what I was going to tell you. I have this opportunity. You know how the new Hyatt opened up?
Yeah.
and they offered me to come over there and check it out. And like they wanted to get to dinner, and they offered me to stay, like let me stay and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, that sounds so cool, great. And they're like, oh, tell us who's coming. I'm like, just me.
Now, see, Andrew,
and then I had the gall to be like, but can I order 2 things? Because you said like I could invite somebody, but I'm not going to bring anybody. So it said like 2 drinks. Can I have 4? Like that would be great.
That person got sick. I'm got to take it. Do it. Go home. I'll take it to him at home. So I want another steak. But I'll tell you, Andrew and I, because we co-host with you, I think you have to then split anything that you.
Well, I mean, I honestly was thinking of inviting you.
Yeah,
I really was.
Yeah.
But I invited my mother.
Oh,
and I
so
wondered.
sweet.
I have a feeling she's not gonna go.
Oh, you haven't done this yet?
No, it's after this because you didn't feed me, and I'm gonna be really hungry.
Man, if I'd
so
have brought
now
that sandwich.
I'm going,
and
I'm gonna go with an empty stomach, and I'm gonna be like, everything looks good. Can I please order for 2?
No,
and
you were good. You should have told me. See, now he can't backtrack because now I don't have to feel guilty. That's great.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was kind of, I would go, hey, you lucked out because
you're going to be fed anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to eat at 6:30 though. That's only like the time they had. So.
That Nashville hot from Chicken Max.
Oh, it's going to be so good too.
Would have been a little good snack.
That's a good sandwich.
Yeah.
Like it's not like the best. It's just good.
Well, what y'all had from Dragon Bowl?
Oh, it was good.
It's Dragon Bowl, right?
Yeah, Dragon Bowl.
I've been calling it BALL. Okay, so
like a bowl of noodles.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
Andrew didn't like it though.
He didn't like it.
No, you could tell. He's just like, this is crap.
He ate that so fast after you and Richard just keep talking so I can finish this. It would be great. So
but yeah, I'm going over there, so it's gonna be solo time.
Oh, you are so lucky.
Well, it's interesting because I wanted to get them on the show because it's a cool little resort.
Sure you did.
It's not a resort. What's it called? What is it called? Is it a hotel? I'll find out. But no, that's how I reached out to him. I was like, y'all need to come on. It'd be kind of interesting to see what it's just like this is supposed to be a big deal for Conroe because it has a convention center, so more opportunities for businesses to come over there. I think they're doing something. It was either this weekend or last weekend. They're doing a card collection expo.
Cars collection?
Cards, like baseball cards.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
That's
that
weird.
sounds cool. And but yeah, I think that I'll find out. But yeah. And so they're like, oh yeah, we want to invite you because we're inviting people who will talk about
in the media and
yeah.
Well, we talked about them.
And they don't have hookers, so I found that out. I asked.
They don't have what?
I'm just messing with you.
You didn't. What did you say?
Don't worry about it. It's already been said.
I've got to go back and listen to it and rewind it.
And you're going to be like, Richard.
Shut up, Richard.
So let me ask you this, though.
Okay.
So when you go to a restaurant, do you usually go for like what you're in the mood for or what you're like, because everyone's always thinking dollars, right? And I always feel weird going into a restaurant ordering like a steak because I like making my own steak.
Yeah.
But it's like I've never like I want to say the most expensive thing I've ever ordered was a type of fish because I never had it, and I was like, screw it, I'll spend $60 on this piece of fish.
Where do you go to get that kind of Landry's?
Like True Lux, I think that's where I was. So.
Well, Landry's has the best steaks. I mean, I'll only go to a place and order steak if it's like so good that I can't stand it.
I don't know.
You don't like Landry's?
I don't think I've ever been there.
Oh, okay. It's pretty
Is that
expensive.
like a Luby's?
Yeah.
I've heard of Landry's before. I've just never been there.
It's a Luby's. Yeah.
We never. It's funny. Growing up in a household of 8 people, we never really ate out a lot just because of the bill.
Oh man! And now.
So. But that was just growing up. So I didn't get in the habit of like, we're fine dining or going in those things. So
that's all we live for. I mean, it really is. It's sad because I grew up when we would go to the grocery store and come home. That was the happiest day of the whole week was was that because I felt safe. I felt like I was going to have something to eat, and it was going to, everything was good because we had food in the house. And that's what Sam said. That's why you have such a problem with eating, is because I said, I don't have a problem with eating. I love to eat. I love food. But it's just not real healthy for me. So I've been trying to.
So you can't really say that, though. You can't say you love food. You love a specific type of food that caused you to have medical issues. Because some people would be like, oh, I love soda. I'm like, yeah, I can tell. You love soda. And then, but
How can you tell? How can you tell? Because they blowed up.
Because you're diabetic.
Oh, no, but if you drink sugar free,
I'm just giving you a hard time.
If you drink sugar free,
that's one thing that blows my mind about my parents is the soda consumption. Blows my mind.
A lot.
Oh yeah, like I'm not kidding you. Anytime anyone's in a car, I could get so many brownie points if I'm going over to them. I call them like, "Do you want something from Sonic?" Oh, it would make their day. And I'm like, but what I love is 9 times out of 10, you get to the house, you're like, oh, here's your Sonic. Oh, you're so nice. Dad picked me up one this morning, and I was craving another one. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like you already went to Sonic today. Like,
that's so cute. Well, do they like diet drinks, or they just like?
Well, my mother likes Diet Dr Pepper, and my dad likes Coke.
Tell her she has to try the Diet Dr Pepper strawberries and cream.
Yeah, I mentioned something to her.
Okay.
And I was like, it tastes all right with whiskey.
No, not with. No, that may spoil it. I started eating maple bacon bourbon salad. Anyway, it's
from where?
It's one of those prepackaged with it's all cut up, chopped up, the lettuce and everything's all chopped up, but it said maple, and so I'm thinking like maple syrup and that kind of thing, but this says bourbon, so I'm thinking, well, it can't be alcohol, so I bought it.
It's alcohol.
No, but they couldn't be giving you dressing with alcohol.
It's not a lot.
What?
It's not a lot. It's kind of like that stupid THC thing they have going on in Texas these days. Have you seen that?
No.
It's like you can buy all these types of pots, marijuana stuff, but it's not marijuana because it has like
because it's hemp?
Well, it has like a percentage that's lower than what the law requires that it makes it illegal or something. Like, it's wild to me. I never really knew about it until a couple weekends ago. My buddies were explaining it to me. And that's when I told you I was allergic to like the CBD and the...
Yes, and you blew up.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's what I wish. I wish that if I ate a candy bar, I would just go, your face would get this big.
Yeah.
If it had something like that. And that's what Satan's so good about. He does.
He makes the chocolate?
No, he does. I'm sure.
Satan makes the chocolate.
I am sure the sugar is from Satan. Or
maybe that's the monkey's paw problem you're having.
What?
Like you love chocolate so much, but it causes this negative effect. You never heard of the monkey paw?
No.
So it's like a genie type thing. Like you wish for something using the monkey's paw, but the problem with the monkey's paw is it always takes something away.
No.
Through your wish
is
or
that
whatever.
A movie?
No, it's just like an old wives' tale, I think.
Oh.
I want to say it's like an old wives' tale.
I'm an old wives. I don't know that one. I don't know it, but I'll look it up. The monkey's paw?
Yeah, it's like an old wives' tale.
Okay. See, I really do need a computer sitting right here so that I can go and that way I'll be as smart as you.
So it's a short story. You get 3 wishes, but it's a cautionary tale because the things you wish for aren't always what you think they are.
Okay, so it was a story.
Yeah.
Probably a movie at some point.
1902.
1902. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like a couple years before you. I'm going to keep going at it. I love it. Ask me anything.
Ask me anything. How old are you? I've always told everybody how old I was, how much I weighed. I've been so transparent with this audience.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's why I like your show.
Okay, because I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
As I see it. That my perspective is my truth. What is it? My reality?
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
Okay, so anyway, we were talking about monkey's paw, but what were we talking about?
Are you going to go see that Sound of Freedom movie? I feel like that's right up your alley.
Yeah.
Because you love child trafficking movies.
Yeah.
That's a weird genre to get into.
It's going to be, I'm going to take so much tissue with me because I think it's going to be so sad and you're going to be so mad and you're going to stand up and said, we're not going to take this anymore. And you're going to go out and do something about it. And just, because those poor kids are just innocent and they have no idea what's going on and being taken away from their parents and then put into that these horrible people that...
Look at this guy. Look at this guy's mask. You see that?
Check him out.
You think he's from Earth? They have no idea. If people are listening, there's a gentleman in front of us out of a group of like 6 people. It looks like he has like a painter's mask on.
Yeah.
It's pretty...
Why does he have a mask on?
Well, why do you think he has a mask? Probably for, I don't know, COVID phobia?
Because he's going to be around a lot of people.
Maybe he's sick.
Okay.
We're sitting here judging him. But I've never seen a mask look like that because it actually like covers the back of his head if you look at the strap. It's a pretty serious mask. If you look at the guy.
Well, then it makes it look like you told me about him and I'm turning around and looking at him. And
yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay, anyway. So I do want to go see that. I think it's going to be great. And it is just busted all kind of records people did not think that was going to do.
All kind of records.
It's ahead of...
No, it's not. It broke it for one day. It made more money than Indiana Jones in like one day.
Indiana Jones, that's what I was trying to think of. Indiana
Jones.
And
it was on like July 4th, where like no one goes to the movies because it's July 4th and we can set off fireworks and stuff.
Right. That's not a holy day or anything that people feel like I've got to go watch this Jesus movie.
You know what's so weird about these kind of movies? People need to look up the trailer for Sound of Freedom, and it reminds me of another Jim Caviezel movie when it was Passion of the Christ, and I was like, why would anyone want to see that? Because I had no desire. I'd like to see the Freedom movie. I was like, why would I want to watch a horrible movie about trafficking kids? Like that's terrible.
Well, you need to understand it's happening everywhere.
Well, no kidding.
Well, I mean, it's just like that's why, I tell Cindy.
See, that's one thing AI will not do, is traffic children. Or will it? We don't know.
Well, if it learns to hypnotize people, it could then hypnotize people who are still able to grab somebody and put them in their car. But I think what the deal is that we've got 2 really good movies starting this weekend, and I'm going to get to take my sister.
What movie are you going to go see?
I'm going to see
Sound of Freedom.
Indiana
Jones.
Indiana Jones and Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and 2 older people that were just such hunks when they were, younger, and now they've matured, and
I mean, at least they're fun movies, I hope. See, that's what I'm saying. That's a movie I would want to see because they're fun.
Yes.
Like the Mission Impossible movies are fun.
No, I agree. A lot of times there's movies that is going to make you feel horrible. But I think you need to be educated and see how this guy did this, and it was a true story. That's what makes it so interesting.
Is it a true story?
It is a true story. I mean, it is. This guy had been...
People involved with child trafficking are known liars.
No. His wife said, you quit your job and you go save those children. And so he did.
Okay.
And
he lived to tell about it.
And he lived to tell. That's what's so amazing about it.
But yeah.
But they chose the perfect person to play that.
That's movie. That's always a movie I just want to put on, on a Saturday night, just chill and just like, let's watch this movie.
Yeah, and then go to sleep with all that horror.
Why would I want to watch that movie?
All that images.
Again, like I remember when Passion of the Christ came out, my mother was like, we're all going to go see it. I want you to go. I'm like, I really don't want to see a guy getting beaten.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really into that kind of stuff. Now, if there's like a supernatural element to it and there's some crazy stuff, like it shows the resurrection, let's see what's going on. But when I read it, it's like, I really don't want to watch the guy get beaten the whole time. It's not going to be fun. But then when The Devil Baby came out, I was like, this movie went from good to great. Because The Devil Baby was a surprise.
The Devil Baby?
You don't remember The Devil Baby? When he was walking, when he's carrying the cross to the, whatever the mount was called. When he's like all bloody, and in the background you see like a man in a black coat. and he didn't really have a face. He's like all white, and he like opens his shirt, and then there's like the baby from Total Recall comes out, and he's like,
I forgot
you
about
remember
that.
I remember that. I was like, this movie's crazy.
Yeah, that was certainly a add-on or
no, I liked it. That's what I'm saying. Like
literature.
I like
literature
it.
license.
I think it's great.
Well, it was funny because I was working at the Cinemark doing the voice thing.
If you had the subtitles on, he'd be like, Quaid.
What?
Quaid. You remember that from Total Recall?
No. From Total Recall?
Yeah, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah,
they're on Mars, and they're trying to find, what's the guy's name? It's like, it starts with Q, I think. But they're trying to find this guy, and they're like, where is he? He's like, he's right here. And he like opens the shirt, and he's like in the belly, and it's like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember them saying.
He like, that's all, like when he was dying, I think he's like, Quaid.
I got to tell you about Passion of Christ.
They're coming out with a sequel.
I was working at the Cinemark, Tinseltown, doing the voiceover.
For the phones.
For what time the movies are.
The movie phone.
And so I went down after I saw it, and I was just blubbering. It was so sad. It was sad. It was happy, but it was sad. And I said, oh, my goodness. And it's so crowded. These people love this. They said, yeah, but here's the deal. Nobody's buying at the concession stand because it's making them sick. They were getting sick from.
That's what I'm saying. Who wants to watch that kind of stuff?
Well, because
it's like, didn't they have like a whole genre of horror movies like that? What do they call it? Like torture or something? Where it was like the movies Saw, and then there was another. You know what I'm talking about? Like all those. Like, I have no desire to spend my time doing that. Now, I can Mission Impossible 25. Yes, I will sit down and watch that because you know it's going to be fun.
It's going to be amazing.
Indiana Jones, the Crystal Skull movie didn't really put a lot of encouragement to watch the fifth one because that one.
I didn't even see that. I didn't see.
It went for it. I like that because they went for it. Mm-hmm. But it still had a little element to it that was like, I feel like no one's really doing this for fun. It's like, we just need to make money.
Well,
Here it is.
These stunts that he does are just amazing. Amazing. But here's the deal. I was watching the whole kind of, what's... Is that Andrew out there? Is that Andrew you see? Is that him standing out there?
I have no idea.
Okay, sorry. Okay, excuse me. Anyway, the thing about the stunts, that one where he goes up on the motorcycle and lets go of the motorcycle.
Yeah.
And then
it's like in every trailer for Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Part one of.
And they do all this. They're explaining how this all happened. Well, he does it, and then it cuts to a guy that's standing there, and he said, and he's mouthing, "We had to do this 6 times," and he looked a lot like Tom Cruise, and I was wondering if that was his double, but I didn't think that he used a double. I thought he was doing all his own
That's
stunts.
movie magic, Cindy.
Well,
like they really beat Jim Caviezel.
No, I really had to talk to myself, Cindy. This is just, but it really happened though. That's the deal. It was a real story. It really happened, and
I read a different version.
You would write.
You know how it is.
You didn't have anything to do with writing the Bible or anything, did you?
I might have. You never know. I'm constantly surprised of what I'm
another life.
Of doing. Yeah.
You were in another life.
I have some weird dreams sometimes.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
I'm like guilty.
Okay, all right. Well, what do you dream about?
I'm just kidding.
Go ahead. You can't remember your dreams. You know that you're not that type.
Oh yeah, I remember my dreams.
You do?
Oh yeah.
Do you dream in color?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, I saw so much black and white growing up.
Yeah.
That's all I saw. So a lot of times, just as I go to sleep and I close my eyes, it's just I have all these images, but they're all black and white, and they're from some TV show or from some, movie I saw, and I don't know what that means, but it's cool. I mean, I love black and white movies, but it just like that's what I dream in color.
Let's let the audience know tomorrow you're actually going to have a guest, and we won't have to yammer on for.
No, good grief. Okay, yeah, we can do this easy. Tomorrow, Carolyn Stevenson is going to be my guest. She's also my sister. Nepotism is alive and well on the Cindy Cochran Show. And she's coming in from Lubbock, flying in to be on this show tonight. I'm going to pick her up, and she'll be here tomorrow, and she could answer any question you have about taxes, anything. This is her 63rd year of doing taxes, and she looks like she's 31. And she's about that tall, and she's, of course, always shorter than I was, but everybody thought she was, the younger sister. So if you want to call her the younger sister, go ahead. They know that'll make me mad. I love her to death. I was never ever jealous of her. I think she's just great. Also, I want to say this: be here tomorrow, and but I want to say to the first responders, we love you so much. We feel like you're so brave. You'll do anything to help and protect us, and you're just amazing. So anyway, have a good day. Call somebody you love, you haven't talked to, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.